I was just here to replace that and do a service. Pretty much done the service. And then I've got this, which they've just shown me. So we might be able to do this today if it's a right fit. Should only take about half an hour. And we'll just have a look in here and see what it's like. The customer's been having an issue with ignition, so it's just not starting up, it's not firing. So we're going to take off the case. It's the 2 screws at the top, and just be careful of the reset button and the temperature knob. When you pull off that case, they will come out. I like to catch them in the case, just like that. There we go. Tuck that away nice and safely so you never lose them. Then it's another 2 screws, 1 on each side. And then all you do is you pull the case forward to take it out. Then we get into the first case, which has 4 quarter turn screws, and then we check the seals. So all you do is press down and you're looking for like a spongy feel, and they seem fine. And then you want to be careful of those wires. That's the ignition, so that's the electrodes. They are temperamental. So as you're taking it out, you don't want to tug on it or anything, because they will just sort of pull apart, or the ignition will stop working. And as they're already having a problem, I don't want to cause any extra issues. As you can tell there, I felt the case, because that can be extremely hot. So before I commit to holding it, just make sure you don't scald yourself. I've taken it off very gently and laid it down super gently, because like I said, those wires and those electrodes are just temperamental. So we check this seal as well by testing if it's spongy. Normally, if you're doing a service, you have to come prepared with new seals for these, because they go really brittle and they crumble. I've got this special tool which has a bit of Velcro on it, and basically just goes in there and just sweeps up the heat exchanger. That's it, and then we scrub it up. And then just do, if you've got a vacuum or whatever you want to do to sort of get into the nooks and crannies, you can do that. I like just sort of brushing it out of there so it's out of the way of the burner. Then all I like to do, because we're having a bit of an ignition issue, sort of just scraping away. Then I notice there's a bit of a bend on the spark electrodes there, so you can see a bit of a bend. It's to do with the heat on these especially. So just get a little grip and gently just pull it back into place and straighten it up. There we go, that's a bit straighter. You normally want about a pound coin separation between these two, but that's quite a bit more, so that might be the reason there's been a fault as well. So I'm just going to get some grips, and again, super gently just pulling them together. Like I said, you want about a pound coin distance between the two, and obviously over time that distance is going to separate a bit more, because it does bend as they get older. And then once you put the first case on the burner back on, I'm just going to put some high temperature silicone. So that's up to I think it's 204 degrees. And that just stops those wires from being pulled out. And also the heat really affects them. So what will happen is you'll just be able to pull it out. They'll actually burn. So that just helps, I think. And it also helps with servicing, because as you take it out, it's going to make the wires more rigid and not as flexible. So when you're actually doing a service and taking it out, it keeps the wires in place. There we go. So it's lit up. That's it. Sparked first time, whereas before it struggled a bit. Now I'm just going to go through a few tests. I'm going to do an apply and sweep, make sure the seal is all okay, and just corroborate that on here. So I'll do that now. So yeah, just doing a really slow sweep just around here, and we can tell that we're detecting nothing. Obviously that's on, and just taking our time, because it does take a few seconds for this to react. So I'll go around, then I go back around again, and then we can go around the sides. That looks all good to me. Inspect the entirety of the flue. You can see all of it from here.